Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today, well, we're going to be setting up not your typical mob spawner. Let's just put it that way. So, I hope you guys are ready. Starting things off today, I wanted to head back into the end, and I kind of want to loot and just see what all loot tables exist in here. And also, I wanted to see if dungeon loot was a thing, and I also want to experiment with another way we can generate dungeon loot today as well, because there is some cool things that we can actually get from dungeon loot. So I do want to head off in this direction, which is a direction that is separate from everything else we've been to, and I'm really looking for these. Of course, I've already been to that one, so I kind of need to watch out, but I am scouting out for more in cities, as that's where we're going to find a lot of loot. Also, I want to take out some more of these guys because I really wanted to try out some more stuff from here. I did see on Twitter that the mod dev is actually like working on more stuff related to this, like as far as balloons go and stuff like that. Like, I love the idea of this. Look at this. That's so cool. The idea of this dimension is, or not really dimension, but this biome here is super cool. But another thing I wanted to mention is last episode we worked on getting infinite power, like charging. And look at that. It also works cross-dimensionally. So another fantastic reason to get this done. By the way, this was where you would make a balloon, right? I think I have string in here. If you make a balloon, I don't think it's implemented yet, but it was in the update that I was seeing. Like, the balloon was being used to float, and you can dye the balloon different colors. I don't know if you need to dye it first, right? Like, does the balloon need to be dyed? Let's actually dye it. I want to see what this looks like. A different color. Okay, so this is a red balloon. Yeah, and I think in the update I was seeing on Twitter, like, it actually lets you float, and you're able to like float across these islands, which really makes it even more useful. The ability to float across islands is really important, especially when you're in the end, because normally you just end up needing to bridge if you don't have any kind of flight options. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That gets an upvote in my book. So right here's another tower. Let's head all the way inside and see if we can't just like bombard this area and go for the loot, just like this. Oh yeah, we'll just head in here. This should be generating new loot if there's anything that was added from any mods. It should start generating now. And there should be one in here. There we go. And we also get that orbs of flight. Like, that's not bad to have in itself. Alright, time to get out of here. Anything else on this this in-city? I'm sure there's probably something up here, right? Right? There's gotta be. Oh yeah, there's definitely something in here. Ooh, okay, so yeah, this stuff right here from Forbidden Arcanus allows us to make some of this stuff. There's also some other stuff that we haven't really dabbled with yet that I would kind of like to make from that mod. Like, there is a lot of it's not implemented yet, but there's also a lot that kind of does have some usable stuff. Let's see. Yeah, nope. Oh, there is another elytra over here, though. And also another dragon head. That means a shelf, by the way. Those dragon heads do have a use. And get wrecked. Alright, here is usually some good loot. What are these? Chorus pearls. Forbidden Arcane. I'm sure it's like some kind of crafting thing, right? And another one of these orbs. Alright. And of course, another elytra. Wow. That... or elytra, depending on where you're from. I am in the United States, so of course I'm going to say elytra. But I think in the UK it's, or I would say elytra, but in the UK I think it's elytra, or in Europe. So it's said differently all over the world. It's kind of crazy, but it still means the same thing. Like bug wing is what it means. Also, I wanted to mention this. I was talking a little bit about Twitter. I do actually have a Twitter, and you can find it linked down in the description below. It's just at ChosenArchitect. So if you're interested in checking out my Twitter, I do keep up with a lot of mod stuff, mod related content, Minecraft related content in general. So I recommend checking me out there. So I went ahead and made myself a flower from botany. We were talking about loot and how to generate more of it in like dungeon loot without needing to go get the actual dungeon or finding dungeons. Other than like mining, there's really no good way to like find large amounts of dungeon loot. But with this flower right here, the Lunium, this right here will basically summon monsters that will be holding dungeon loot. I need to have it connected to something first, like this. So this is actually pulling from a mana pool, and eventually it should summon a mob. Looky there, right there. There's a drown that just summoned, and they're going to be stronger than normal. Oop, that dropped string, didn't it? And these are going to drop items that technically... Oh! Yep, okay, well... I don't think these guys are going to contain them. I'm so glad that that wasn't an actual creeper. Yeah, you can see these have strength on them. Oh boy, I need to be careful because there are creepers that are just like spawning out of nowhere. So yeah, you can see that's like holding iron. But we should be able to automate this, I think, in some form or fashion. Yeah, it looks like it's spawning on me, isn't it? No? Maybe not. Ah! Of course those are going to do that. Come on, little creepers. Little creepers, man. That's where it's at. But yeah, I'm getting gold. I'm actually getting all kinds of stuff. But man, I think it's using a lot of mana for this. I think that mana pool is basically already drained, almost. Yeah, it's definitely draining quickly. Ooh. So there we go. There's one awesome thing that we actually just got, which I will take. Oh, the creepers, man. Look at that. So the drown, if these are summoning drowns, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if we can get one that has a trident and maybe get a trident that way. I don't know. It's worth a shot though. Yeah, we could technically automate this process, I think, but man, that really does take a drain on the mana. But here's some of the things we're getting. Like, we are getting a lot of things that are in the loot table. Like that, we just got a saddle. What's over here? Potatoes. Gunpowder. It's so weird seeing skeletons drop gunpowder. We're getting this stuff. I wonder what the radius is. I need to get my my mana seeing monocle on so I can really be able to tell. And is that in here? It is. So let's throw this on. And okay, so this basically spawns stuff in the standard dungeon loot area. Huh. So we could technically use our other loot room for this. But to pull the items in, we would need to set up some kind of other system for that. And that would take some time. Speaking of systems for things, I do need to pull out all of this. You get this stuff out. And I'm going to change what this is actually using to power this. I want this to start using blaze rods. So all I need to do is basically take the ender chest that is connected to this, and this ender chest, which is on black. I'm going to go ahead and set that up in the main part of the base. And all I got to do is just have it export blaze rods into it. Actually, probably just put it underneath the spawner itself. And where this is actually powering that down there. You know, I'm going to put it in the base. But yeah, I just need to basically hook an exporter up to it. So right down here, I'm just going to slap an exporter on here. Just like that. And we're going to say, all right, make sure to send this and fill this whole chest with blaze rods. Right. So that'll send that in there. And this will get blaze rods, of course, dropping on our nice little area that we have set up. And all I got to do is close this back up. There we go. And I think I want to start working on setting up some kind of area, probably in that zone. So let's see, mana spreader. I went ahead and made another Gaia spreader, but I think we could probably set this up and automate it just slightly above where all of our other stuff's at, and just take a few mana pools to just move mana around. I think I might need some more yeah, living rock soon, but I think we can totally take this and like move mana around a little bit. We'll see, and send this up into an area, and then use player traps for this and some vector plates. So I'm kind of deciding on how I'm going to set this up. I want this to blast mana up to about this height, and right here I'm kind of coming up with the idea for the size. And you might be like, wow, this glass is like really cool looking. That's because it's mana glass. Really fits really well with the Botania aesthetic. Now, to give it an even cooler vibe, I went ahead and made some Alf glass as well, which I'm going to use for these these corner pieces, like this, and it gives it this almost like haze look to it, like they're like floating squares, almost like a little mob trap up top here. This needs to be 1, 2, and then 3, 4 out in all directions. But I also need to account for the items dropping here. Because this area right here needs to be open, right? And technically mobs can spawn there. And I was looking, and I think there's an item that will work for that. I could just set up another dropper like this to drop the item down. And I need something to catch the item and put it inside. And I did notice that there's these grates, I think, from, let's see, this right here. Item grades. It says allows items to pass through it. Allows items to pass through it can be disabled with redstone. So I'm assuming that it allows items to pass through and not people. That's what I'm hoping anyways. All I gotta do is try it though. I mean, if not, I can set up some kind of dropper thing with a hopper and a dropper, and we could probably get that to work as well. So right here, what I'm kind of thinking is that hopefully that this ender hopper doesn't actually consume an area that is too large. I don't actually know if there's a way to see the area that it can pick up in. I mean, other than throwing. I'm assuming, like, let me try and put a chest. Let me put it in a chest, I guess, or on a chest. All right. So I went ahead and made a crystal chest earlier. Let me go ahead and slap this on top and kind of figure out what the range is. I'm sure you guys are curious as well. So I know it can pick up right here, right? It can pick that up. It should be able to pick up from right there. Can it pick up from here? Yes. Can it pick up from 4 blocks away? Okay, what about 5 blocks away though? No. Oh, it can. Oh, wow. So it actually picks up from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks away from it. Putting us in kind of a sticky situation. I don't know if this is actually going to be too fast. Like as far as pickup speed. I'm hoping that these items can drop quick enough and that its bottom range is also not as high. Because that's going to cause us to run into a bit of a problem. So let me go ahead and see. If not, we can surely set up a hopper hawk system that can pick up the dungeon loot and specifically tell it, hey, don't pick up any of these blaze rods, right? We can totally tell it to do that. Blaze rods and or coal, which both of those seem to be dropping. But what I want to do right here is right underneath is where we're going to have this flower. We're going to have a mana pool that is directly in the bottom. And I believe that it does need line of sight in order to work. So to do that, I am going to go ahead and place the mana pool here. I'm hoping I'm not making a mistake by doing that. Because what I don't want is mobs to end up on this and just end up not being killed. That's not exactly what I want. And I can't really get a vector plate in there, like a damage player trap. I want this whole area technically to be covered in damage player traps. But I just don't feel like that's going to be the case. I mean, we can try it. I'm going to go ahead and place a mana pool right here. And then on top of that mana pool, I'm going to place this. Which, I mean, is going to immediately start spawning. So I really don't want that to happen either. So I'm just going to leave it like that for right now. But what we're going to see is all these colors kind of coming out and shooting. So let's see. Let's see if me placing this ender hopper is going to start causing problems. Let's see. I'm going to place the ender hopper here. Oh, I can place upside down. I didn't know that. So we can place it on the bottom of a chest? It's actually kind of an important thing to know. That's kind of cool. Which actually means we could probably just use it up here. And I could just place a chest, let's say right here, and then place this right here. That could actually work. Now, here's what I want to find out. Is it going to pick up the rods when they're dropped? That's what I want to know. Let me go ahead and pick these up. That should drop rods. It's picking them up. Yeah. That's not a good thing. Okay, so this is where we are going to definitely need a flower. 100% we're going to need a flower. So I do have a little bit of a problem, though, with this being a thing. I do need the hopper hawk, I think, to be one above, and I don't know if it'll place it on the chest that's above it. I can only test, so that is going to be something I need to do. Floating hopper hawk, I can place a block of charcoal right here, because right there where the block's at is going to be a lunium. So I'm going to need the hopper hawk here, right? And this is what I don't know. Okay, so it is picking up items below it and on its level. So yeah, it's definitely picking up the items where I want it to pick them up. Question is, will it put them in this chest? I hope it does. And then I'm going to put the item frames on it. And these item frames are going to say, oh yeah, it's definitely picking up the items. I need to set this hopper hawk to, let's see, pick up only items not in frame. Okay. And that would be this and this. Okay, so now it should be good. It should not be picking up blaze rods any longer. And then we should be able to put this down and this down. Now, the problem is I can't, on this block right here, I can't actually put a player damage trap. And so I'm kind of concerned that that is going to cause issues. Now, I don't know if me moving this down, if they'll still link. I'm going to go ahead and do that. You might be like, oh, you just broke all that mana? Yeah, I did. I definitely did. But I do want to see if this can link. So let me go ahead and grab some mana glass. I'm going to place this underneath. I hope that it works. The more you know, right? I'll end up finding out more after, of course, after this is through. So, let's go ahead and place down the damage trap. Actually, now that I look at it, I'm not even going to have place for that. So, I mean, technically, it can be there. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and place this. Is it detecting? Okay, so it is hooked to that. Okay. So it's hooked. The mobs are spawning. We just need to send them to this. And they shouldn't make it past there. That should totally kill them. Their loot should be picked up. And loot should end up in here. Okay. And it is consuming mana. But this should definitely be refueling it and sending mana up there just so it goes fast enough, just fast enough to get us some loot in here. And I can't wait to see what we actually get from this thing. Wow, what a build. So as you can see, I've definitely been having an issue with my wireless crafter not being able to open up over in our other area, which is really important. I really need it over here. So how am I going to go about getting it over here? The same way you would actually go about setting up cross-dimensional refined storage. Wow. Creeper, I tell you what, creepers are the bane of my existence. I'm so glad in this pack they don't explode. But still, anyways, let's get back into how to set up cross-dimensional and or extending your refined storage system. This is all you need. So the reason I have some cables is because I need to hook up a wireless transmitter, and of course you also need a network card. So you need to make yourself a network receiver and transmitter. And you're gonna need both these machines in the world hooked somewhere to a cable, right? Just somewhere. I'm gonna go ahead and place it right here for right now. You can see this is a network transmitter. We need to send this to a receiver, but we need to mark where our receiver actually is, and then this is of course going to receive our signal. I'm going to go ahead and place it somewhere in the center here. Let's see if I can find a good spot that isn't like super distracting. How about right here for right now? I'm going to place it just in the world, just like this. And then what I need to do is shift right click on the network card onto here, and it's going to link where this is located. And we just need to put this card inside this block. And first of all, let's take a look at this real quick. The transmitter by itself just uses 64 FE per tick, 64 RF per tick. If we throw this network card in there, it's going to detect that it was what? That was 64 blocks away. Was that right? 84 blocks away. Now this is still using 64, but I think our other one is going to be using more power now. No, it's using 0 for right now. But cross-dimensionally, I think it's just like a guaranteed 100. But you do the same thing for cross-dimensional. You just place a receiver in the other dimension, and as soon as you place this network card in here, it would go, oh yeah, I'm in the other dimension. So, and it would give you access to your refined storage network over there. So let's go ahead and make this wireless and extend our range. We have no need to do anything to our wireless crafting grid. We just need to give ourselves another node, right? Another dial here. So we just need to place this on a cable, transmitter, bam, and then give ourselves the range upgrades. And now we can access our storage here as well. And we should be able to access it throughout this whole area now, making it a lot nicer. So much nicer. Man, it feels good. So I have to say, as far as loot goes, we're actually doing pretty good. I'm really liking this. We're getting a bunch of quark stuff. We're also getting mapper base, a thing from mine colonies. All of these things, not too bad. I'm actually pretty surprised at the stuff that's coming out of this. So, seems to be working, and it does seem like this is definitely draining. I don't know, is this only pulling out of here? This should be pulling out of all the mana pools, right? I wonder if I need to make a Gaia spreader for each corner here, and maybe that would work faster. It does seem like it's only pulling from this one, which is kind of weird. So I was kind of thinking, I'm sure there's a better way than just using a mana spreader to get mana to this pool. And it did seem like it was only using one. And it's more efficient to have all of the mana spreaders focusing on filling all the pools. So that way, if one pool here is less, all of them can work on filling a pool instead of just two. So I figured, you know, it's probably going to be best. I already have sparks up here. Let's go ahead and actually place a dominant spark on top of this mana pool. And then this dominant spark will basically draw all of the mana. If I can click on it, there we go. It'll draw all the mana from this pool into this mana pool, keeping it filled, which will allow this whole process, which technically is what everything is going for right now. Everything's working towards that. That should technically work. Looks like I'm getting some mobs that are getting out just because I'm down here messing around. All right, so this definitely should be working. As long as I get away, spiders and stuff, they're not going to bother me. They're going to focus on this. And this should be collecting. And so long as we have these rods dropping, we should still have mana filling up these pools and sending to this. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Ooh, here's a drown. It'd be nice if we get a trident this way. So what I'm wanting is, I was wondering with computer craft in here, if there's a hidden floppy disk, which from what I've read, there is a hidden floppy disk that you can potentially find in loot. I don't know if it's part of CC Tweaked, but it might be. And it's supposed to be rare loot that is in dungeon. It's going to be dungeon loot. So I just don't know. What in the world? That guy spawned in a weird location. They shouldn't spawn there. I don't know why they spawned in that location. But anyways, everywhere else should be fine. Let's actually check on the loot. And let's see what exactly we're getting here. We are getting a lot of good stuff. Like, I'm going to go ahead and leave it running for a little while. It definitely has some pretty decent stuff in here. Ooh, I've got to get out of here. I would really love a trident, but I'm sure the chances of that are pretty slim. Well, guys, this has actually been pretty cool. I've actually enjoyed today. Getting this all set up was quite fun. And I think this deserves a sign. So I just want to give a huge shout out to, again, one of my Patreons, actually one of my newer Patreons. As I go through here, I kind of go through and I pick a random name off of the Patreon member list. And again, I just want to say a huge thank you to Stephen Carrier for becoming a new Patreon. Welcome to the crew. Thank you so much. And I want to say thank you to all of my Patrons. I really do appreciate it. And I think this is a really cool idea. I'm super happy I did this. By the way, if you guys have any ideas that you want to suggest for future episodes, please let me know down in the comments below. And guys, if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And of course, also give this video a huge thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next episode. And as always, thanks for watching.